What's up, guys? It's a Spent Man coming to you from the beautiful woods of the North Country. I'm out here in my wood lot playing with my wood as I usually am, and I'm one of these feared and fabled rugged individualists that popular culture is kind of scared of. And I wanted to talk about the times and address the times. So growing up in the 90s, there's always this vibe, right? It was like, screw you, Dad. Like, my parents don't get me, don't know what I'm going through. And naturally you gravitate toward things like punk rock, skateboarding, alternative culture, which was just basically the popular culture in the 90s and during the time period where millennials grew up, or elder millennials. I don't know how this generation stuff is being reordered currently or today, but there's always this vibe that was like, the more problems that you had, the more attention that you got. And there's a lot of pathologizing with ADD and ADHD, which are probably, in the generation before that, would probably just be a high performing personality type. And there is always this kind of dark psychic energy of just being misunderstood, being unhappy, your parents being messed up. A lot of these different shadow archetypes. And what's happening now, as my generation resists adulthood in so many ways and resists personal responsibility for decisions that are made, projecting our darkness and projecting our complexes onto collective society, putting a lot of our energy and existential frustrations onto ridiculous things like presidential politics that really have nothing to do with our day-to-day life. It's not a new thing. We've been dealing with it. I've been dealing with this and experiencing this my whole life, and now the angry punk rocker is basically the mainstream media. That same kind of ticked off, resentful, immature personality type is just popular culture. And driving through towns and cities, man, it's like, it reminds me of my room when I was a young, disenfranchised, just confused teenager. Like, driving through cities and towns, even around where I live, in a rural place, it's like, this is like, wow, man, like, it's infantilization. And we've been seeing, basically with alternative culture and what is now mainstream culture, what we've seen is this worshiping of the child, the infantilization of society, where we didn't take on the wisdom of our elders, were not transmuted onto us. We were taught or encouraged to disrespect our elders, and gravitated toward a more sibling society where it's like, screw your parents, they don't get you, your friends get you. And so even though, parents aren't perfect, and all the trauma and stuff is, real, it's not denying that, but it's really this infantilization that focuses on all the negative things, focuses on all the bad things about growing up, and how your parents acted, or whoever was in a position of authority acted during a certain time period. But it's never about how the good things that have happened to you in your life, and the things that you've accomplished, and the things that you are going to accomplish or could accomplish in the future, if you just weren't stuck up in the shadow of popular culture and the negativity and the envy and the resentment of popular culture. And so I wanted to address this a little bit, man. Like, it's not going to be a dark winter. It's going to be a dim winter if you think that, but I just wanted to get this stuff out here. I've been feeling it a lot, and out here in the woods, in the forest, during the summer, the leaves, they're protecting the lower canopy and the plants and smaller trees on the forest floor, and the leaves absorb all that fiery hot energy, and in the fall they drop it, and it's all, the foliage is all super colorful from absorbing that heat, and it falls down onto the forest floor into the fall and into the winter, where we're at now, and it blankets, it protects the ground, it sacrifices itself, it makes an offering to be the top layer, the next layer of fertility for the forest. And in the winter time, when there's a lack of sunlight, the forest lets the light in, and when it snows, the light illuminates off the snow and projects it outward, projects the light. The snow will project the moonlight. It reflects off of the snow onto the white birch trees. So in the winter time, when there's a lack of light in darkness, the forest creates space for light and creates space for illumination. So we got to be proud of ourselves, be proud of who we are, and find something to look forward to. It doesn't have to be a dark winter. It doesn't need to be entering a dim age or continuing a dim age. This can be the beginning of a light age, and getting out in the winter time, recreating in the winter, is the best time to be out in the woods, in my opinion. And all the things you can do, skiing, snowboarding, all these things, there's great stuff to do. So if we shut off our cell phone, shut off our TV, and just give a real honest assessment of our lives, we probably don't have a disease or a plague. We probably don't actually have that many personal problems. And it's this kind of clarity that we can find when we're out recreating outside. And all the chaos is just coming from these noisy little screens and these noisy little boxes that we're addicted to. And I'm not going to say I don't get caught up in it, which I totally do, but when we can get away from it, we can shut it off and break ourselves from the addiction, we can start to see what it really is. It's not reality. So that's my message for today. Thanks for watching from the beautiful woods of the North Country. This has been the Spent Man.